Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Last summer we took an excursion with someone else's van by renting it on RVezy.com, and I just wanted to have a chat about that because I know some of you are going to be thinking of going that route, and just to give you some things to consider before renting before your summer travels. I'll start with talking about the actual renting experience and our host and such. The website was really good, really easy to work with. Our host was very nice. He happened to be out of town, but still easy to communicate with when we needed something clarified on the van. The booking experience was pretty easy. The website, again, was easy to navigate. One thing I would recommend is getting the insurance and also just getting the best level of insurance for your vehicle that you can. You don't want to get insurance, pay for it, and realize there was something not covered because you get the mid-tier or lower tier one. Always get the best one or none at all, because you just might be kicking yourself. Be sure to know what your insurance or whatever coverage you get through Outdoorsy does cover, just so you don't have any surprises. There's nothing that you're not particularly prepared for. Take your own photos when you get to the van or your RV. The host would have prepared photos during the sign-in process where you get to sign off on the photos they took, but also I would say that you should probably take your own photos as well in the moment that you go and pick up the van or RV, and just so you have your own versions of something to back up your fight if you have to prove that there wasn't pre-existing damage. Take good clear photos. Generally everybody has a smartphone that's able to take really nice photos for this kind of purpose. The drop-off process was pretty easy as well. We were instructed to leave the keys in a particular place. We took our own photos still of everything, make sure everything was accounted for, took photos of the items that came with the van to show that they were there in good condition and where they were left. And you just basically sign off on everything, say it's been returned, you sign it off on the Outdoorsy app there, and off you go. Some things to consider with the vehicle itself: be prepared for a few things. In our case, we had an old van. It was very easy to leave the headlights on. There was no warning like modern cars give you of a chime or a beep to say that you've left them on. The van did not start when we went to it. I did have a booster pack with me, which was a lifesaver, and it really did help us get through a couple of jams. One of my fault, but I think the battery was run quite low from previous users that also left the lights on in the van. Consider the fact that you're going to be using probably a V8 engine, maybe V10 on some, V6. These are going to be pretty expensive vehicles to run for the most part, especially if you're towing something, but V8 and larger, they are going to cost you quite a bit in gas versus what your current vehicle might be costing you day to day. Most people drive 4-cylinder vehicles, V6s, lighter, more fuel efficient than a big RV that has to carry quite a bit more weight. My thoughts on the whole experience was that if you can't afford a really nice RV, then you're probably better off either renting a vehicle or driving your own car and staying at a hotel if that's an option, because your own car is likely to be more reliable. A rental vehicle is also quite reliable, whereas our 80s van was not really. It was quite stressful, and really the newer stuff that is quite reliable, it's going to cost you pretty much as much as a really nice hotel, about $350 a night. So unless you've got the money to drive a reliable vehicle from Outdoorsy, I don't think it's worth it, because you don't want to be getting stuck somewhere where there's no cell service. dealing with tow trucks and all that stuff. And even if you have the coverage for it through the insurance you bought, it's still a whole crap load of hassle to have sit there in the middle of nowhere waiting for a random tow truck or someone to stop and help. You just don't want to deal with that. So either get a damn nice vehicle or don't do it at all. That's my recommendation there for you. Renting a vehicle would be cheaper than this. They're usually about $45, $50 a night. If you're old enough to rent a car of that caliber to take you to a nicer hotel where you might be able to save a little bit of money on the hotel itself. But driving this thing was just not a relaxing experience. I was constantly worried that we would actually break down and have to deal with that breakdown in the middle of nowhere, really. Would I do it again? I probably would, but I'd be prepared to spend more money per night on the vehicle. We would get one with AC. This one did also not have AC in it, so that was a whole other thing in the heat of the interior of BC to deal with. But it was fine. That's not the big deal. I'm just glad this thing didn't break down on us and have to deal with that whole BS. But I would do it again. I would save up for a nicer vehicle. The one we got here, I don't think it was worth my time and stress to go this route once again. Thanks for having a listen. If you have any comments or questions, I'll be happy to answer them in the comments there so that everybody else can learn from this experience as well. If you've done this before, tell me how it went for you. Would you do it again? Any concerns you had? I think it'd be very helpful for anyone else listening or considering going that route. Anyway, thanks. Bye.